What if you're closer than you think? What if your breakthrough is right around the corner, is one step away? What if you just keep going for a little bit longer, everything that you're trying to accomplish, everything that you're trying to become, everything that you aspire to be is right there. It's in arm's reach. If you just keep going one day longer, 1 week longer, one year longer, you know what I mean? What if it's right there? A lot of times we don't realize how close we are to the things we're trying to accomplish, or the things that, you know, we're trying to become, or really just that whole breakthrough idea. In reality, we're never gonna know how close we are to, you know, things finally shaking, you know what I'm saying? Things finally connecting. And a lot of these things that we may try to do, they may be difficult, they may be complex, they may be, you know, a slim chance. So it's hard for it to happen, but that shouldn't be a reason to give up, or to just stop trying, or just to stop doing, just because it gets difficult, or just because it may not be as easy as you thought. Especially if you've been doing something for a long period of time, and you know, you may not be seeing the results that you want, or you may not be getting back what you put in. We kind of get this connotation in our head that, you know, nothing is happening, and we're doing all these things, but nothing's working. But, you know, progress is invisible sometimes, and you can be inches away, literally inches away from your breakthrough if you just keep going. And you know, we talked a lot about consistency, resilience, things of that nature. When you build those healthy habits, you're not necessarily doing it for the results. You're not results driven. But as stated in a previous video, when you do something that you're passionate about, it never feels like you're working. It never feels like you're just doing it to get money. You're doing it because you love it. And when that happens, is you become in a different type of mind state, where it's results, no results, rain, sleet or snow, one person watching me, a million people watching me. I'm gonna do this, you know what I mean? Because this is what I love to do, and this is what brings me fulfillment. So it's that type of mindset that keeps people going. And for the great ones, you know, if you don't quit, then you will never lose. So eventually, you know, that breakthrough will happen. Eventually, you know, things will start to connect. Eventually, you'll get that job, or eventually you'll get that position. Whatever the case may be for your scenario, that breakthrough will happen. But it's so important for us to not to give up, regardless of anything. Especially if it's something that you're very passionate about. Especially if it's something that you really want to do. But yeah, man, it's your boy AP2 Law. I got my chapstick with me last time. Last video, my lips kind of dry, but now we gotta do better. But man, without further ado, let's just, you know, get right into the video. It's funny because I got a weird habit of doing things 98%. Like, and I have to catch myself in a moment to make sure that I accomplish the goal. Like, I will wash every dish in the sink, but I'll leave like a fork or two and just be like, all right. But it's like, why I didn't just complete the whole mission? Or I would fold clothes. Right now I'm folding clothes, and then I'll fold majority of my clothes, but then I'll stop at like 2 shirts and just be like, I'll do it later. And that's like a habit that I'm trying to break, where I need to go not only do the fullest extent, but do surpass that extent, do more than what is expected. And I just gotta catch myself in a moment of just like, why do I even with the water bottle, I drink 90% of the water and just leave this much left, where it's like, go ahead and finish that. And, these are just kind of examples of how we treat our goals and our passions in life. Sometimes we kind of get in that complacent kind of mindset, and we forget to, run through the finish line, finish strong. And in sports, they never tell you just to stop at the line. They always tell you run through the line, go past the goal. And just to ensure that you not only complete it, but you go past that, you surpass it. And that's what's going to it builds momentum into the next time that you do it again. That's actually a real fact. I think that most people stop chasing their dreams 90% of the way through. I think that the last 10% is the most difficult part of the journey. It's the getting over the hump. You know what I mean? It's that point where you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you may feel like you need to just turn back because there's no hope. You've been doing something for so long, not seeing the results that you want, not feeling like you're gaining any type of progress, don't feel like you're getting better. And that's in that moment right there is when you have to dig deep and search for something and believe in yourself, and believe in God, or continue to have that faith that I'm gonna see it through until the end. And truthfully, anything that we want to make happen, anything that we want to accomplish, isn't gonna be easy. I don't care what your goals may be. It's not gonna be something that's super easy to do, and it's gonna take an extended amount of effort beyond what our minds may think we're capable of. And that's when you really have to push yourself and really have to kind of understand that, the reason for why you're doing this isn't necessarily for the result. It has to be something deeper. It has to be something stronger, and something that can really push you through when, the situation gets uncomfortable, gets a little shaky, gets a little unstable. In class, we're learning about, in my international business class, we're learning about the different, nations and how they do business and how their business relates to like the nation's culture. And in America, we're a very capitalistic, we're a very individualistic country, meaning we value competitiveness. We're a very individualistic country, meaning we value competitiveness. We value results. We are driven by results, and that's been like kind of installed in our brains ever since we were kids. So when we trying to accomplish something and we're not seeing the results at the speed that we want to see them, we can easily be discouraged, especially if there's other people around you trying to accomplish the same goals and they're getting it done, and you're not seeing the results that they may be doing, but you feel like you may be working harder than them. It's a lot of different scenarios, but we easily get discouraged when we don't see the results at the pace that we want them to see them at. It overall just comes to a point where we feel like nothing is working. But I think that's false. I think that's just that point where you're at the last 10%, and if you just go a little bit longer, if you keep fighting, if you keep digging, think about if you were mining for gold, and you was digging for weeks, days, hours, and you're not seeing no results. And then you're literally like inches away from striking gold, but you just turn around and give up. It's the same kind of mindset. You don't know when your breakthrough is literally one step away. So giving up is the worst thing you could do. I think the last 10% is difficult for a reason. It's, greatness is something that everybody can achieve, but it's something that everybody doesn't achieve realistically, because I think that giving up plays a huge role, especially in this last 10%. Just because you don't see the progress, it doesn't mean that it's not happening. Think about a seed. A seed stays underground unseen for weeks before it sprouts. Think about muscle growth. You don't build muscle when you're actually working out. You build muscle when you're resting, and it's during the recovery phase, not during the workout. Just because you're not seeing results, that doesn't necessarily mean that your work isn't working. It's just accumulating in a invisible space. And it really forces you to have faith in yourself and have faith in a higher power that what you're doing is enough. Or you can even take a different approach and be like me and never feel like you're doing enough. And that's what motivates you to keep on going, and keep on pushing. However you want to think about it, but just don't feel like you need to stop or something isn't working, so you're just going to walk away. Because that approach is never going to get you to anything that you're trying to become. It's not going to get you to a point of breakthrough. Most of the time, progress happens in the dark. And I think those moments of breakthrough, they happen when we least expect it, when we're not even worrying about, the breakthrough. We're carrying water, chopping wood, day in and day out. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of backlash on that kind of grind mentality. But this is specifically for those who want to be great. This is specifically for those who are dream chasers. This is specifically for those who feel or have the desire to do something extraordinary. And great things only come with, great mindsets. And that's what I'm trying to help develop. That's what I'm trying to help build. And that's what I'm trying to be the example of. I think realistically, we don't know how close we are to everything kind of working out. So have that glass half full mentality and hope for the better and think for the better, and just keep working, keep grinding, keep pushing, because that breakthrough is right around the corner. A lot of the things that I'm talking about is a lot easier said than done, trust me. I completely understand. However, I think 90% of the things that go on in this world are mental. I think it's just how we look at it, right? So one of the tricks that I like to think about when it comes to searching for progress, when you may feel discouraged, because it's normal, we're human. At times we may feel kind of frustrated or angry or unmotivated because we're not at the place where we feel we should be, or we're not seeing results, and that's okay. But one of the first approaches that I like to take is to zoom out. Take a step back and really think about how far you came. Think about all of the little things you've been doing correctly over time to get to the position where you are now. Think about where you were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and what that person looked like compared to what this person looks like, or how that person used to think compared to how you think now. Think about the knowledge you gained. Think about the experiences you had, the ups, the downs, the failures, the mistakes, the accomplishments. Think about everything that has happened to get you to this very point. And usually, that kind of gives you that reassurance of what you're doing isn't just wasteful. It isn't just like you're wasting your time. But it's more so like this is just your journey. This is just what it takes to, if this is what you have to do to be great, then, and if you see like that small progress from then to now, why stop? I think we don't realize a lot of the progress we've made because we don't really take the time to stop and notice it, stop and think about it. So, use that time if you ever feel unmotivated or discouraged to really just think about, look how far I've came, look how far we've came, look how far we've developed, and use that as motivation. Use that as fuel to your fire to kind of, all right, cool, we did it this long and we got this far. So imagine if I do it for the same amount of time, how far we'll be. That kind of leads into my next kind of point of action. These progress compounds in a different way. Like that same progress you made from year 1 to year 3 is going to be different than the progress from year 3 to year 6. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be compounded in a higher way, in a expansive way. I don't know the word, but just keep showing up. There's a power in just keep showing up day in and day out, and keep putting in that at least that 1% every day, because that's gonna accumulate. That's gonna add up. And don't get caught up in the idea of just intensity. Consistency beats intensity every time. Just brick by brick, step by step, day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second. That is gonna beat the go hard for 3 days and then stop for a week. Every time it's gonna beat the I'm gonna do this for a week and then give up for 2 weeks and then do it again for a week. Like, nah, let's just continue to build momentum day in and day out consistently. And it's important not to overwork yourself or to over exhaust yourself, and just kind of put in the work necessary and then come back and do it again and do it again and do it again. Trust the process, and don't trust in the results. Growth is happening even when you don't see it. And lastly, I would say one of the biggest things is your why. Remind yourself of why you started. Remind yourself of who you're doing it for. Remind yourself of the people, the person, the objective, the end goal, the reason for why you're trying to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. I think it's a interesting quote I seen on social media. It said the only thing harder than pushing through is starting over. You know what I mean? So think about the place that you're at, and think about how much it took you to get there. And it'll be, a pain to just start all over again. But although sometimes it is necessary. But reconstruction video, y'all go check that out. But think about why you started the journey. Think about the vision you had that made you take that first step, that made you go jump in the water. And I don't know, think about what would happen or how you would feel tomorrow if you quit today. I don't think majority of the time it's not a good feeling. I don't think that it should ever come down to that, truthfully. If it's something that you're really passionate about, if it's something that you're called to do, if you stop now, you're gonna have to do it later anyway. So you might as well grind through. Let's put in the work to get where we want to be, and let's not quit. If you quit now, you'll never know how close you were. Just think about that. What if the opportunity you've been waiting for was one try away? What if the breakthrough you've been needing for so long was gonna happen next week? What if the moment you've been waiting for was just beyond this current challenge that you're facing? It reminds me of Drewski, but you don't want to live a life thinking about what you could have been or what things could have been like if you didn't give up. Regret always gonna be heavier than effort. I'm gonna reiterate it one more time. What if you're closer than what you think? In most cases, you probably are. So don't quit. Don't stop now. And if anything, push harder. Don't let doubt steal your breakthrough. And when you're right on the edge, don't walk away. Push through. Keep going and stay in the game. You got this. And one day when it all finally happens, everything starts to click, results start showing, and you finally make it, you're gonna look back and you're gonna realize you was never as far as you thought. But yeah, man, it's my spiel. If y'all enjoying this type of content, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned for the next video because we're not stopping no time soon. I love all of y'all. Thanks for the support. If y'all want some merch, shop the brand, LostYouInSociety.us. Y'all can go check out the brand Instagram and my personal Instagram in the description. But other than that, man, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Stay genius, keep dreaming, and the future is now. Gang!